Hey, good evening there, baseball fans, and welcome to Game 2 of the 2022 NDBA Finals here tonight at Welland Stadium. We got the home team, Fort Erie Cannons, against the Rose City Thorns tonight. We'll give you the starting lineup for the Rose City Thorns in just a second here. So I'll post it on your screen. Leading off, Tyler Wood, then Riley Gray, Dave Noss, Matty Holman, Ted Beadle, Zach Decker, Tyler Rose, Alex Davey pitches tonight, and Tyler Stack rounds out the order. Number 9, I'm joined in the booth by Chris Cholfi. Welcome, Chris.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Corey. Thanks for having me. Happy to be here and enjoy a nice frigid night of baseball.
Frigid indeed. It's overcast here all day. We were lucky to get the Welland Stadium diamond tonight. Fort Erie not available. Half underwater. There's Tyler Wood starting the game off. And Gary Morey is catching the flare. One down quickly.
Gary had to go a long way for that ball, but he was very aggressive and was able to bring that in. But good for him.
I think too, Wood kind of sliced it, and it stayed up just long enough for Gary to be able to make a play on it.
First base, number 1, Riley Gray.
Josh Kadarian on the hill, as if you had to guess, for the Fort Erie Cannons. He's been in every single big spot for the Gold and Green this year. And he pitches now to Riley Gray, number 1. 333 regular season batting average for Gray. And he chops that one well foul out of play. Quickly 0-2.
Always tough for a left-handed hitter who didn't get a ton of at-bats throughout the season to face probably one of the, if not the, one of the toughest lefties in the league.
Got to agree with that sentiment. Kadarian, strikeout leader this season, and he does another one there. Cuts down Riley Gray. And a nice snag back there by Fernandez as well, as that one was foul-tipped. Quickly 2 down.
Next item, the catcher, number 5, Dave Knox.
Now Dave Noss. 0-for-3 in game 1. Reached on an error in that game. Takes one well inside there.
This guy's a doubles machine.
Absolutely, he's got speed on the base paths, can hit it to any part of the field. Not been able to get it going this postseason, however. Thorns could really use him tonight. Chris, what's one thing you've liked about this Thorns team this season?
We only saw them, we were very front-loaded this year facing them, so their team has definitely changed a lot, but you know, this middle of the order, they can definitely stick it, and they're not up there hitting singles. They're hitting doubles. They're hitting gap shots. They're cashing in runs. So definitely the heart of the order is where they make their money.
Big cut there. I know the Thorns were tied for second this year in runs scored, 127 with the Welland Senior Baseball team. Only the Fort Erie Cannons had more runs than them. Oh, sorry. Meriton Alliance also had 163. Tied for third with the Thorns in runs scored this year. That's Noss making his way down to first base with a walk.
The next batter for the Thorns, playing third base, number 42, Matt Holman.
So you heard Dave White on the call there. This is Matt Holman playing third tonight. As the Thorns swap out their catcher with 2 down.
Holman has some of the quickest hands in the league, and he's very good at being very patient at the plate. He's looking for his pitch up there. He's not afraid to get deep in the count and look for a good pitch to drive, especially in this situation here with 2 outs. We'll be looking to hit something hard and potentially cash Gray from first now.
Well, you saw that on the first swing there. Holman taking a big cut through strike 1. Holman led his team in among eligible batters, 421 this year. They'll take that one up high, 1-1. Really early going here tonight. Still no score, top 1. Throw that banner up there for you. Now 2-1. One thing you like about Holman too is usually the defense will play him pretty straight up. You can see there's not really much shifting going on there for the Cannons defensively. You know he can put it to any part of this field. Although I don't quite know that the Cannons know this lineup quite that well. Two. And he shoots that one into right field, the base hit. Nas thinking 3, and he's gonna make it there without a throw. So Matt Holman comes through with a 2-out single.
You called that one, Corey. Good two-strike piece of hitting right there, going the other way with the pitch and shooting that through the hole between first and second.
Yeah, I think we were both on top of that. You said he could use his hands and stay on top of most pitches, and he shows you there. Brings us to the number 5 batter, Ted Beadle. Playing second base tonight, 303 regular season. I believe his 3rd year with the Rose City Thorns now. First pitch strike from Kadarian.
A lot of times he'll hit at the top of the order.
Beatles found himself a nice little home in this heart of the order. Came through with 2 RBI in the 6th inning of Game 1. To pull within a run. If you remember right, the Thorns just couldn't pull that one out. That was a nail biter. Coming through with our first comments of the night. Lavetier wishing the boys a good game. Always a good game here at the stadium. That one's in the dirt.
Not really sure what Holman's doing over there with the heart of the order up and potentially getting hung up there a couple times now. So he's got to be a little bit more careful, unless he's trying to catch the run without a hit. But if he is, then he needs to commit to that. But needs to be a little bit more careful if he's not going down that road.
So you can hear the bench holler at him. Hernandez has an arm behind the plate for the Cannon. Not wise to test it. That one shot foul by Ted Beadle. Out of play. One of the things, Chris, and I think you'll agree, that the Thorns do very well is run the bases. Don't make very many mistakes.
Absolutely. The one thing in senior baseball that'll shut down any running game, though, at least in this league, is a good arm behind the plate and a left-handed pitcher. And the Cannons they have both of those out on the field today, so that will automatically shut it down a little bit, but we'll see how aggressive the Thorns are throughout the game.
Beadle's still hanging in there. And he takes that one away. And now the count's fulled up. So there's 2 down here, runners on the corners. That's Nas over at 3rd. Holman's at 1st. Payoff pitch is upstairs, ball 4. So it looked like it was going to be a pretty quick inning. Turned into a little bit of a sticky situation here for Josh Kadarian and the Cannons.
They've definitely got his pitch count up through the first inning. He's probably around, I would say, 20 at this point. And I don't know if he's working through some stuff with the mound or the weather today, but it's taking him a little bit longer to settle in than normal.
And just the 1 strikeout as well, which is also unconventional for the NDBA leader in that category. This one's skied by Zach Decker. Into right field. Royce Gooder under it. He makes the play. And that'll end the inning. So the Thorns load the bases, but fail to cash. Still no score. Bottom 1 coming up. Stick with us. Alright, welcome back, NDBA fans. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Alex Davey is the pitcher for the Thorns, as we'll run through the starting lineup for the Fort Erie Cannons. It's a long one tonight, folks. But you got Chris Hodges leading things off. Spencer Edwards is in the 2 spot. MVP candidate Zach Fernandez in the 3rd spot. Gary Morris follows up, then Jeff Bruno. Pat Giampaolo is DHing tonight. Randy Kranick at 3rd. John Williams followed by Royce Gooder. Rounds out the order for the Cannons. So, leading things off, shortstop Chris Hodges, veteran of the Cannons, many seasons under his belt. And he'll ground the first pitch to Holman at 3rd. And he makes no mistake. Quickly 1 down.
Very aggressive approach there by the Cannons. So let's see if that continues. That's a trend that they're going to the plate with today.
Well, Hodges was 3 for 4 in game 1. Drove the offense, scored in the first inning. Was a force out there for the Cannons offensively.
I will say you probably don't want to get too deep in the count with Davey. He's very much similar to Kadarian, where he doesn't have as many innings as the Kadarian or D'Angelo registered this year, but he did have a ton of Ks per 7, so an aggressive approach may not be that bad of an idea for the Cannons.
Agreed. Davey throws hard and he throws a lot of strikes. Command is on point. It'll make you work for sure. He's away twice to Spencer Edwards here, number 8. That one gets away from him there. He fell over a little bit.
Slipped on that one.
So maybe there are a little bit of problems on the mound tonight. I know it got a lot of water over the weekend. Rumor has it wasn't tarped even headed into today, so you can tell it's a little damp out there. See Tyler Rose kicking some dirt around on the mound. So 3-0 to Spencer Edwards. And that one's upstairs, ball 4.
The Thorns are going to have success tonight and in the series. It's really Hodges, Edwards part of the lineup that you're going to want to get out. And not to say that those guys are easy outs, because they're certainly not. But you definitely want to face a Fernandez without anybody on base.
It's the guys behind them that are going to cost them. And Fernandez, part of that in game 1, was able to drive in Chris Hodges. Now here's Zach Fernandez, number 34, 484 regular season. And I don't think it's a question anymore as to who the MVP candidate is. This guy dominated all year. Davey with some command issues here early on. Nas is going to head out to the mound to settle down his starting pitcher.
Now, there's 2 ways to think about this right now. So he's thrown 5 straight balls, and he's clearly having mound issues, and it's potentially in his head. And Fernandez is an aggressive hitter. So is he thinking that he's going to throw a get-me-over fastball and he's going to be super aggressive on this pitch? Or is he just going to wait to see if he can get a free pass down to first base and kind of pass the torch along here? So we'll see what Zach's thinking.
Be tough to mitigate having 2 men on with 1 out this early against the Cannons. That one looks like he might have gone around, and he did.
I would say that we have our answer there. He was definitely looking for a get-me-over fastball, or just kind of cut off the plate a little bit. But you could tell the Cannons have definitely come up with an aggressive approach tonight.
They're going to hit anything near the zone by the looks of it. 1-1 to Zach Fernandez. And that one tails away. Davey looks in again, 2-1. And that one's flared. That's Riley Gray over at first base tonight. He makes the out. 2 down. A couple Thorns not in their regular positions tonight with only 9 players in the lineup. So that's something they've had to do all season.
First base, number 44, Gary Morris.
Another guy that'll make you pay, number 44, Gary Morris.
He's been real hot as well.
He put his mark on the playoffs with a 3-run home run against the Expos in the quarterfinal. I think that ball's still coming down. Taken all the way there, strike 1. Or he's another cannon that had a great year at the dish. 386 in 44 at-bats this year.
2 straight curveballs to start off Gary on this at-bat here. Both kind of for strikes here. So now I think he can either bury that curveball and get him to chase it, or go up with a fastball, depending if he wants to waste one or not. What do you think, Corey?
I'm leaning on the high fastball, but I know Morris can hit those. I wouldn't throw him a strike here, for sure. So I'm going with the waist. Let's see what comes up. 0-2, Gary Morris. With 2 down in the bottom of the first. That's Spencer Edwards over there at third. And he does waste one away with a breaking ball.
Definitely off speed. They are shifted a little bit up the middle with their second baseman as well.
Maybe they got the scouting report on Morris here.
There was your fastball with a little bit of a slide step, tried to sneak it past him. Big pitch here, 2-2.
They need to get out of this inning unscathed. They went down early last game. They could never overcome it. 2-2. And Morris fouls that one back, stays alive. Another thing Morris does so well. He stays in every count.
I'd like to see him sit back on that curveball and drive that through that massive hole on the right side. As we see Davey clearing off the mud from his spikes.
Got to be a very tender bump out there, Shivai. So redo the 2-2. Davey sets. And he gets him. Strike 3 on the outside corner.
Painted the corner with a fastball.
What a pitch from Davey. So, Cannons push Spencer Edwards to third base, but they can't cash him in. Still no score. Top 2 coming up. Hey, welcome back, fans. Top of the second inning. And we'll kick things off with Tyler Rose, number 8 for the Thorns. Rosie, 326 regular season.
Perennial MVP candidate.
Always. With what he can do on the mound, you're surprised we haven't seen him yet in this series. And he takes a first pitch strike from Josh Kadarian.
Yeah, I mean, you got Gray and you got Davey, and then you sit there and you say, well, what about Rosie? Right? Like, you always have Rosie in the back of your mind thinking that he can either come in and close a game or he's going to start game 3. He's definitely an arm that they want to use.
Right. And again, it's a marvel that he hasn't even made an appearance yet in these finals. He pitched a little bit during the playoff weekend. And he takes strike 3 there. Darian wasting no time, cutting down Tyler Rose on 3 pitches. 1 away. This will take us to the pitcher, Alex Davey. Remember, the Thorns only have 9 players on their roster tonight. It's been the struggle with them all season, is getting bodies out. Davey with a big first pitch cut there.
I think look for Kadarian to attack Davey on the outer half here against the lefty. And if Davey's going to be successful, he's going to have to flare something into left or drive something into left center.
Kadarian's used both parts of the plate so far to get pitches in for strikes. And he drops that one down low. 1-2. Again, it's so tough when you got a left-hander on the mound to pick up those subtle little things. There it is. Strike 3 called. So Kadarian with 2 backwards Ks to start off the second inning. And quickly 2 down.
The next batter for the Thorns playing right field, number 12, Tyler Stack.
Now Tyler Stack, number 12 for the Thorns, 132 regular season.
It sounds like a down year for Stack. We call him an anchors killer because every time we ever faced him, he always ends up going 2 for 3, 3 for 4 with a game-winning hit or a game-winning double, something to that effect.
Must be something in the water near McMillan Park. Keeps Tyler Stack geared up and ready to go. He was 0 for 2 in game 1 of this series, so he's looking to get something going here. He takes that one away, 1-1. Lucas Cummings in the chat. Welcome, Lucas. Biggest fan of the NDBA streams is Lucas, and he's cheered the Cannons on all the way to the finals. That one's up and in on Stack. Backs him off the plate a little bit. Curious to know for the NDBA fans watching tonight, what was your favorite moment from this season? Interject quickly, Tyler Stack into center field, a base hit. So Stack breaks up his hitless streak from these playoffs, and he's got a 2-out single here in the top of the second.
And turns the lineup over. Give him a chance to score in this inning here with the top of the order coming up.
The next batter, center fielder.
We'll see how aggressive they are on the base paths. It's always easier, obviously, to score if you only need 2 hits to score a run rather than 3 hits. So we'll see how aggressive they are with Stack at first.
Well, they can afford to be. Tyler Woods on a hot streak, 3 for 3 in game 1. 0 for 1 tonight, but his piece into right field was just stabbed by Gary Morris at first. Oh, 1. That one's flared foul again. Morris won't have a play. So quickly for fans in the stream tonight, we're looking for your favorite NDBA moment from this year. Could have been from your favorite team, could be from just a player that you like. What was the wow factor for you guys this year? Let us know in the comments. And timeout called there as Kadarian was throwing the pitch. So we'll reset. The 0-2 to Tyler Wood. That one's on the ground softly.
Tough play.
Hodges charging on, and he can't make the play barehanded. Call that a base hit for Tyler Wood. That one would have been tough to get to, even if Hodges was to make a play on that.
Real tough play with speed at the top with Wood. I think the only chance he had was the barehanded try that he did. But with the wet grass, it was always going to be a tough play.
Yeah, the grass certainly making that one a challenging play. Hodges was charging hard, but Wood was already most of the way up the first baseline by the time he had a chance at it. So here's Riley Gray, struck out in the first inning. Back up here in the second. Big cut for strike one. So the Thorns again, threatening in an inning that looked like was going to be a quick one for starter Josh Kadarian.
Oh, another one.
Sliced, and then this is another tough play. Granick charging on, but he won't make it either. So what do you know about that? A couple just little bloopers in front of the mound. Have the bases loaded.
Looks like a line drive on the scorebook, though. And who would you rather have at the plate if you're the Thorns?
None other than Dave Noss, number 5. Walked in the first inning, and he's up here in a big spot. 2 down with the bases loaded.
Catcher, number 5, Dave Noss.
You know, in every baseball game, there's usually a handful of at-bats that determine the outcome of the game. And I'm going to go on record here and say this is definitely one of them. Bases loaded, 2 outs. I know it's early, but this is going to set the game down a certain path.
This is truly it. Noss, incredible season. Like you mentioned in his first at-bat, a doubles machine. He had 1/3 of his team's doubles this year.
He would love one right now, I'm sure.
Potential to clear the bases. That one right back to Kadarian. And he'll make that play, no problem. So once again, the Thorns load the bases, but fail to cash. Still bagels. We're going to the bottom of the second. Right back after the break. Hey, welcome back, NDBA fans. Bottom of the second inning. Still no score between the Thorns and Cannons.
Playing second base, number 73, Jeff Bruno.
And we do have Jeff Bruno leading things off for the Cannons here in the second inning. And this is where, Chris, the Cannons order gets rather dangerous. With Bruno, Gianpaolo, Kraniak, and newcomer John Williams, who's had an outstanding start to his Cannons tenure.
Anytime you can extend your lineup down to the 6, 7, 8 spots with good hitters, it's going to make life that much more difficult for the pitchers, especially on a cold night like tonight.
There are no easy outs in this Cannons roster, that's for sure. As we see Jeff Bruno, 351 regular season. You'll notice 4 home runs tied for the NDBA lead. Of course, he plays in the most hitter-friendly park. Not much we know. Takes that in the dirt. So Davey sets, 3-1 pitch. That one's lined into center field, a base hit.
Dropped the bat head on that one. That was a low inside pitch too that he was able to get the barrel of the bat to. So good piece of hitting there to drive that up the middle.
That is a classic Jeff Bruno swing right there.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 93, Pat Gianpaolo.
Got a few things going on here tonight in the chat. Ty Hardy cheering on the Cannons once again. Thanks for joining us tonight, Ty. Christy NX has no sound. I wonder if that's a problem all the way across the board. Certainly hope not. Sounds like everyone else has sound. Mackenzie Featherstone in the chat, rooting for the Thorns tonight. Welcome, Mackenzie. Joined us for a 0-0 game here in the bottom of the second. Cannons have Jeff Bruno on first with nobody down. And this is Pat Gianpaolo. And he slices that one foul. Good, Decker still running for that one.
They only got 9 guys, so nobody can go chase that ball.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's a good point. Unless all Chucky's willing to take a run down the third baseline. 1-1. That one breaks in, and no call from Levitt there. That looked like a good pitch from the booth. So 2-1 to Pat Gianpaolo. That one cuts inside, ball 3. Gianpaolo, Chris, had probably one of the best second halves of any player in the NDBA. I'm confident when I say that.
There was a stretch there where he was getting 3 hits every game. I think three games in a row we had 3 hits.
Yeah, and he was on the NDBA 3 stars almost every week down the stretch. He really pulled it together. He cemented the Cannons into their 3rd place berth this year.
That's just over us. I think as much as we said Gary had a hot September, Meat was definitely had the hottest August in the league.
Absolutely. Defying all logic and age, and everyone on this Cannons team is broken except for the cornerstone player, and this guy's been doing it for years and years in Fort Erie. That one's outside, ball 4. So the first 2 Cannons are aboard here in the bottom of the second.
Big opportunity here for the Cannons, 2 on, nobody out, and Randy Kraniak coming to the plate.
Well, it's like we mentioned, there's not an easy out
Now batting for
in this
Fort Erie,
order, so you're not
third
doing
base,
yourselves
number
any favors.
27, Randy Kraniak.
There's a lot of teams in this league here where they get down to this part of the order, first and second, nobody out in a game that you want to win with the trophy on the line here. This is a bunt situation, but I don't think this is a bunt situation with Kraniak up here. I think the Cannons are going to be looking for a big inning. I see Gray creeping in from first just in case here, but I think they're going to let it play out.
And why would you take the bat out of this guy's hands? 350 regular season. He didn't get as many reps as he would have hoped. Just 20 at bats, but I mean 7 hits, 4 doubles, and those 20 at bats. So you don't rule anything out. Number 27's at the plate. Check swing, and it looks like he held up.
The other thing too is Davey still doesn't seem super comfortable on that mound. So, you know, when a pitcher is struggling to find the zone, you don't want to give them a free out. You want to let them kind of get themselves into trouble, and if they can get themselves out, so be it. But let themselves get into trouble in this situation.
One popped straight up. Thorns needed this one. Rose underneath it, makes the play with the infield fly rule in effect. 1 down.
Kranick's going to be having nightmares about that one. A 2-0 fastball right down the middle, and he just got under it and popped it up to the shortstop. But that was the pitch he was looking for in that situation.
Left field, number 14, John Williams.
And it's always super unfortunate when that happens, too. You know you just missed it by a half a centimeter. So this is another red-hot cannon. John Williams, number 14. Added towards the latter half of the season. But 533 in his short time with the team. That's 8 hits and 15 at-bats.
And from what I saw today, a number of fans on Twitter.
Yeah, that's right. Johnny with fans tonight watching from in the U.S., I believe. So we thank you for joining us. That one's fouled into the glove of Dave Noss. 0-2. Williams, a Fort Erie boy, true and true. Played all of his youth ball in Fort Erie, and that I know is fact. One tailing outside, so 1-2. Just 1 out in the inning. That's Jeff Bruno at second, Giampaolo at first, and Alex Davey pitching to John Williams here. A 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A big one for Davey and the Thorns.
Isn't it funny, Corey, that, you know, Davey looked like he had lost the strike zone. He was struggling to start the inning. Then he throws that 2-0 fastball to Kranick, and Kranick pops it up, and now comes right back with a strikeout, and now he looks like he's in the zone. Sometimes all you need is that one out somehow to get going.
And get going they did. The Thorns in a beautiful spot now. 2 down, and the batter is Roy Scooter. CN Roberts in the chat watching number 14 from Oklahoma. So there we go. There's your John Williams fans right there.
Boomer Sooner.
Christianix also rooting on John Williams there. Down by strikes. So Roy Scooter, this is a guy that was having probably one of the better seasons for the Cannons before a high ankle sprain knocked him out about halfway through. He's back for the playoffs. .364 regular season, but again, that coming in the earlier half of the year. Not see any action in late July or August. And he takes that one away, 2-1. This is a guy, Chris, that if he's not on your radar already as part of the Thorold Anchors scouting report, he absolutely should be.
He absolutely is. He is a bat-to-ball player for sure.
And he's one of those guys that came up as a young guy through the Cannon system, and you watched him develop into this everyday player that is honestly just thriving in all situations that you put him in. So it just goes to show what developing at a young age can do. You guys are doing that very well over in Thorold, and hopefully that'll translate into some results down the line.
The Cannons do a great job of allowing players
Strike
to develop.
There. Sorry to interrupt you there, Chris. Strike 3. Roy Scooter down on strike, so the Thorns get into a little bit of early trouble, but get themselves out of it pretty quickly. Still no score. Top 3 coming up. We'll be right back. Welcome back, fans. Top of the third inning. Still no score between the Thorns and Cannons, and this the game 2 of the NDBA Finals. Hey, you just heard the call there, leading things off. Matt Holman at third base tonight. 1 for 1 tonight. And we'll just take a quick peek at the comments here. Russ McEwen's in the chat. Get him Green Machine, so we know where Russ's loyalties lie. Russ just wrapping up a career, and you were a teammate of his, Chris. Just tell me a little bit about Russ and his career and what leaving is gonna do to the Anchors.
Rusty was always, he's such a team guy. Like he'd always be the first to have your back no matter what, whether you hit a game-winning double or you struck out 3 times. He was always there to kind of give some support and some tutelage. Skill-wise, you know, last year's MVP. And after a year off, to be at his age and come back and just mash the baseball, hitting over 400 last year was a sight to see. This year he played a little bit less, but it's still sad to see him go. He went out the way that he wanted to go out, I think, and we're gonna miss him on the team, that's for sure.
Yeah, agreed. And Russ, you're in the stream tonight, so good luck. Hope to see you out next season to some capacity, whether you're just a fan or whatever else is going on. So we got Matt Holman here, grounding a ball up the middle past Jeff Bruno into center field, a base hit. So the Thorns, for the first time tonight, have a runner on with less than 2 outs.
The next batter, second base, number 18, Ted Beadle.
Don't forget, the Thorns have loaded the bases in both innings so far, and both times got it started with 2 down. So this could be a sign of things to come. Ted Beadle steps in.
I don't seem to be expecting it, but it might be a bunting situation here if they want to play some small ball.
This could be it, yeah. At this point in the game, no score in the 3rd inning. This is your chance. You got to take a shot here. Ted Beadle walked in the 1st and was stranded at 2nd base. And he comes on here, Matt Holman at 1st, nobody out. Strike there from Kadarian, so 1-1. That one fouled right off the mask of Levitt there behind the dish. Shakes it off. Maybe that'll wake him up a little.
Fernandez going to give him some time here, do a little mound visit, give him some time to shake the cobwebs off.
This is a big pitch coming up in this situation here, you would think. One, 2. Beadle pops this one up. Backpedaling a bit is Jeff Bruno. Makes the catch. 1 down.
Defensive swing, just needed to get that ball in play, and maybe in the summer that carries a little bit further into the outfield, but on a cold, late September night, that ball is not going to carry out anywhere.
Absolutely. Nice thick air here tonight at Welland Stadium. You can feel just like the cold in the air. And Russ McEwen back in the chat giving you some props there, Chris. Kind words, always a stand-up guy, agree. A 1 down. Stepping in now, Zach Decker flew out to right field in the 1st inning.
Now batting for the Thorns, left fielder, number 55, Zach Decker.
Once again, Decker, a down year by his standards for sure, but he wasn't able to get regular work, which I think contributes to a little bit of a slump for a lot of guys who aren't able to get regular action.
I think that's especially true with some of the older guys in the league. Speaking at least for myself, it can be difficult to get into a groove and get those muscles to remember what they're supposed to do when you're only getting a handful of at-bats every now and then.
There's a shot by Decker. Coming on, Spencer Edwards. He covers a lot of ground and he makes the play. So now 2 down. Decker with 2 hard hit balls tonight, just not being rewarded for that. And now Tyler Rose to
Now
pitch.
batting shortstop, number 8, Tyler Rose.
Struck out to lead off the second inning. Quick one looking on the outside corner from Josh Kanarian. And he grounds this one softly to Chris Hodges at short. And he'll just flip to second base for the out. So a quick inning there for the Cannons. They retire the Thorns in consecutive order. Mind you, a leadoff single for Matt Holman. 0-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. Be right back. Hey, welcome back, fans. Bottom of the third inning now. Standing in is Chris Hodges, the leadoff batter tonight. 0 for 1. Grounded to third base his first time up. And this is the guy now that's going to try to get things started for the Cannons. He was instrumental in their Game 1 win. They'll need him here if they're going to produce here. Trying to find last game. Yeah. 2 for 3, a pair of runs scored for Hodges in Game 1. Squares up, but pulls back.
I guess that was low. Didn't look like it missed by much, even without the attempt.
Must have been a real close call over there. Again, we can see a lot better from the booth here than we imagine Levitt can see at plate level. So we'll be making all the official calls here tonight. There's a nice little bunt laid down. And that one's going to be foul. I thought that might add a chance to come on back.
That was very close.
Nas hustling up the line to keep that one foul. Chris Hodges the bunter. Who knew? But Chris, there's your small ball. And it surprisingly comes with nobody on here.
I mean, any way that you can get it going, right? We're definitely into any way, anyhow territory, which is to say any way you can get on. If you see a curveball that's coming at you and you can wear it. Any way that you can get a rally started right now in the Game 2 of the championship series in the bottom of the third tie game. If you're the leadoff hitter and you're a veteran of that team, you're going to do it.
And with 2 very good pitchers on the mound again, you're not going to get much. So take every little bit you can get.
And you know, Holman's playing third base, and he's not playing a shallow third base by any means. So there is, Hodges clearly saw an opportunity there to get one down and beat one out.
It's now the 2-2. And Hodges takes that one to deep left field. Coming on Zach Decker, and he's not gonna make the play. Boy, it looked like Decker was right underneath that one. And he doesn't come up with it. Chris Hodges, a leadoff double.
That one was a tough one. I don't know if he lost it in the lights or just maybe caught it in the palm, but that was one that Decker's going to want to have back, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm not even quite sure I want to score that as a double. He was right underneath it. It almost looked like he was camped under it.
Well, we are in Welland, so it's hometown scoring, so I would say that was probably an error, though.
Well, the Cannons will score that one as a double, but we'll take E7 in the booth. And now Spencer Edwards coming up. Walked in the first. He'll square to bunt, and this one's popped up. Now has a play, and he makes it. A miscue there from Spencer Edwards. One down.
2 bunts in a row, Corey. You're getting me excited up here.
But that one not done quite as well as Chris Hodges. You're never supposed to hit it, to pop it back like that. You know, the idea is when you're bunting to bat it down, and that's twice now in these playoffs where we've seen Spencer Edwards do a play just like that.
The one thing when you're sacrifice bunting is your first job is to get it on the ground, and you're not trying to bunt for a base hit. So it doesn't need to be close to the line. It doesn't need to be past the pitcher. It just needs to be down on the ground and move the runner. Right. Now, in that situation, with the speed that Spencer Edwards has, he may have been trying for a base hit. But in that situation with the runner on second, nobody out with Fernandez on deck, I would have liked to see more of a sacrifice approach there.
Right. And once again, just maybe a little too aggressive, but now it's cost them. This is Zach Fernandez, 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded out to first base. And he takes ball 2 away. Thorns now in a bit of a better situation. But dealing with MVP candidate Zach Fernandez. Never an easy task. That one's in there. Strike 1. Baby sets. And the pitch. It's in there, strike 2.
It's a big pitch in this game right here. If you can get Fernandez to either roll one over or to even, better case scenario, a strikeout here, you definitely want to face Gary with 2 outs.
Seen one swing from Zach Fernandez all night. It was right to the first baseman. That one's outside.
Looked like he reared back a little bit for that one, which caused him to miss glove side.
You're going to need a good pitch to get Fernandez, so you have to reach back for something extra, but not at the expense of location. You don't want to lose him here. And that one cuts in, ball 4.
Not the worst case scenario there to walk Fernandez. I mean, once you get the 2 strikes, you're thinking strikeout or rollover, but, first base open with Gary coming to the plate here. Potential double play candidate. Not the worst thing there to walk Fernandez.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think now you got the double play intact, and you can get out of the inning with 1 swing for sure. Gary's 0 for 1 tonight, a strikeout to end the bottom of the first. And a big cut there for strike 1.
I think he was trying to do some damage on that one, Corey.
Trying indeed, but nobody's really had Alex Davies' numbers so far. I think the hardest hit ball was that Hodges shot that Zach Decker just couldn't handle in left field. Other than that, not much here for the Cannons. Mora is looking to break the tie. 1-1. So on the ground, could be 2. Holman bobbles, and he's going to have Hodges hung up in between bases there. So he'll touch third and make the out. 2 down.
That was one of those scenarios that you were kind of in an interesting spot no matter what you did there if you were Hodges, because you stopped riding there with the hopes that Holman was going to throw across the diamond so that you would still have second and third. But then once Holman misplayed that ball, the only play that he had was to third, whereas if Hodges had kept running, he probably would have got to third. But I think that was the right decision on the basis for Hodges to kind of hold up there.
It's a safer play for sure. And you know what? At the end of the day, 2 down no matter what almost, right? So Jeff Bruno, 1 for 1. Leadoff single in the second inning. Back up here, looking to break this tie. You're just joining us, still 0-0 between the Thorns and Cannons. That's Zach Fernandez on second base. And Gary Moraes is at first now. Jeff Bruno, the batter. With 2 out. And he pops that one to second base. Ted Beadle. Over to Riley Gray at first, makes the play, and ends the inning. So we still have no score between the Thorns and Cannons, but don't go anywhere. Top 4 coming up. So here we go, top of the 4th inning. Kicking things off here with pitcher Alex Davey in his second at bat. Davey is 0 for 1, struck out looking in the second inning. But he had a couple really good swings in that at bat, Chris. He was really looking to put a charge into the game.
So it's always interesting when you're pitching and hitting. It's, you know, having not been a pitcher myself, I can't really speak 100% to it. But on a cooler night and on a hot night, it's probably not something that is ideal. You're probably sacrificing on one end or the other. But you know, they're a little short-staffed tonight, so he's going to try to give what he can do.
Thorns have had to do that all playoffs long. Riley Gray, the pitcher in last game, actually hit a double and got his team on the board. So the Thorns able to do that on multiple fronts. Davey not the only one. Gray, Rose, among some of the pitchers who also hit for this team. 2-2 to Davey. Swing and a miss, strike 3, but Fernandez can't hold on. That was foul tipped back there. Thought Zach might have held on to that one at first. Taking a look at some comments. Mason Kenny, go Cannons. Mason, the son of Eddie Kenny, who plays on the Fort Erie team. Strike 3 from Davey. 4th strikeout of the game for Josh Kadarian, 1 down.
Excellent pitch there by Kadarian, like I said during that first at-bat of Davies. Kadarian was definitely attacking him on the outer half there. Looks like Davey might have been unable to reach that outer half, and that's where he kind of exploited him there.
Yeah, well, he got Davey looking on a pitch on the outside corner in the 2nd inning, and you got to think that Davey was probably thinking the same thing there. I'm not getting beat twice on that pitch. And for what it's worth, he put a good swing on it. He just couldn't make contact. But can you blame him? You got a really good pitcher on the hill there. This one on the ground, shaved foul. So it's 0-2 on Tyler Stack. 1 for 1 in this game. And we talked about Stack in his first at-bat, having a down year, so him getting going early in this game is not a bad sign if you're the Thorns, anyways.
This is the part of the lineup, though, that when Stack turned it over to the top in the 2nd inning, they were able to load the bases.
Right, threatening on multiple fronts.
So anytime you're the 9-hitter, whether there's no outs, 1 out, or 2 outs, it's a big at-bat, because if you can get the top of the order up, there's always time to do more damage.
Absolutely. And we need some kind of damage here, because we're sitting at 0-0 top of the 4th, locked into a pitcher's duel here at Welland Stadium. The 0-2 again to Tyler Stack, and he just waves at it. Strike 3.
Good pitch.
Boy, he had him all kinds of crossed up there. I think he was thinking fastball. So 5th strikeout for Kadarian. And that turns the order over. Tyler Wood leading things off. 1 for 2 tonight. His single in the 2nd was just a slow roller that took forever to make its way to Chris Hodges. And by the time it got there, he didn't have a play on it. Using the home field to his advantage, perhaps? This one on the ground a little bit quicker to Hodges, who dives to make the stop, but he doesn't have a play.
Nice play to get to that ball to keep it in the infield, but even if he had come up with it clean, I don't know that we're able to get the speedy Wood out of the box there. He was digging pretty hard.
That he was, and I don't know that any shortstop in the NDBA would have been able to make that play.
The next batter for the Thorns, number 1, Riley Gray.
Steph Napper in the chat asking, what's the YouTube link? I think we can get that in the chat for you. See what we can do. There's a pitch outside. This is Riley Gray. Number 1 for the Thorns. And 1 for 2 tonight.
That's a great pitch, though. Just off the black and right where Fernandez wanted that fastball. It's going back out there again. He got the black that time. I'm thinking he's going back out there again, but we'll see where Fernandez wants this one.
Absolutely. That was a great pitch for a strike. So, Steph, if you're wondering where that YouTube link is, in the chat now on whatever platform you're watching from. That one away, says Levitt. 2-1. Ty Hardy also in the chat providing you with that link. Thanks, Ty.
So if I'm Gray here, I'm looking for something out over the plate, outer half. Does Fernandez think about coming inside now? He is set up in there.
Fernandez always makes it known where he wants it. This one popped up and will get out of play. So it's 2-2 now on Riley Gray.
If you're a young catcher out there and you're watching NDBA senior baseball, Zach Fernandez is the catcher that you want to watch. The way that he attacks hitters, and if you ever get a chance to talk to him about baseball, he has a plan for everything that he does. There's a reason for it.
Absolutely. There was a play in game 1 where the ball got past Gary Moraes, I believe, at first base, and who was there but Zach Fernandez? He was already way up the line. He might have beat the batter up the line. He was so fast getting up there. And again, if you're watching and you're a young catcher, emulate this guy. There's a reason he's in the MVP conversation this year. It's not just for his bat.
And this at bat is a microcosm. Away, 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 away. And then by the time the batter adjusts to that approach, now he's ready to bust you inside and it's too late.
Done it so effectively all year. The payoff pitched with 2 down. Flared up. Kraniak's got to run for it. And he's there in time to make the play. So Tyler Wood singles for the second time tonight, but the Thorns strand him at first. Still no score, bottom 4 coming right up. There we go, fans. Bottom of the 4th inning. We'll lead things off with Pat Giampaolo for the Cannons to face Alex Davey. And he takes the first pitch strike.
If you could give them a list of prices for the parks, if you can remember, just so you just said it.
That first one is straight to the ball.
So Giampaolo, 387 regular season. He doesn't have an at-bat tonight. He walked in the second inning. And he lines that one sharply foul. If you're just joining us, it's still 0-0 here between the Thorns and Cannons. Bottom of the 4th. Josh Kadarian and Alex Davey locked into a pitcher's duel, and I'm joined up in the box tonight by Chris Cholfi, member and kind of team manager here for the Thorold Anchors at this point, and he's also the stats guy at NDBA Senior. And we thank Chris for joining us tonight, because he really didn't have to. It was kind of impromptu, but...
Very impromptu, but glad to be here.
He's given us some great commentary tonight. There's Giampaolo lining a ball sharply into center field for a base hit. So he's aboard for the second time tonight. And this time with nobody out.
The next batter, playing third base, number 27, Randy Kranick.
Like the Thorn bench might be on the home plate umpire a little bit right here.
Well, Levitt's been he's been himself back there tonight, but not a terrible game called so far.
Let's see if Davey can work around this leadoff single here.
He's done a good job of mitigating the little mistakes so far. Kranick to the left side. Holman to second for one. On to first, not in time. And that one's going to get away. Kranick breaking for second. And he's going to hold up. So a heads-up play there by Randy Kranick, but he can't help but ground into the force out. One down. This will take us to Cam Hall, batting for John Williams.
Now at the plate, playing second base, number 13, Cam Hall.
Cam made the move to second base. Leads us to believe that Jeff Bruno is tending to right field now. All back this year after missing all of 2021 with an injury. I say an injury like it wasn't multiple.
Which just leads to even more impressive of a year that he's had. With 2021, he missed because of injury. 2020, the entire league missed. So, I mean, we're talking 2 years, 2.5, 3 years of potential rust. And anytime that you're an amateur baseball player and you don't play for 2.5, 3 years and, you know, you have general life things to do, it can be difficult to come back to where you once were. And Cam's done a good job of that this year. Absolutely.
He came back. He batted .526 for the Cannons in 19 at-bats. And he cranks that one. This one is slicing foul. But boy, he put a good piece on that, didn't he?
That's what we call getting the barrel to the ball there on an inside pitch. He just yanked it probably about 10 to 15 feet foul, but that would have been a game changer, that's for sure.
Just gonna wish he held back on that one for .001 seconds longer. I got a couple new comments here. Donna Hall in the chat says, "Way to go, Pat," referring to his leadoff single. That was a good little shot from Pat Giampaolo. And then Bob Etier in the chat again, saying, "Hi, Chris. Congrats again on OBAs. Great job."
Thanks, Bob.
This one flared again foul, so Hall stays alive. And we'll have to redo the 1-2. Davey sets and the pitch. Fouled back again by Cam Hall. Really putting up a fight in this at bat, isn't he?
He is. He's always a tough out. You know, when he starts in the lineup, he hits near the top of the order for a reason, and it's because he's a tough out. He's a ball and play guy, but can also drive, as we saw that ball that he shot down the left field line. So it'll be an interesting at bat here.
He wins away.
He wanted that pitch up, but he missed away. So I don't know if they'll come back up now that it's 2-2. They might go back to something off speed here.
Well, they'd like to get Hall, because otherwise they'll likely have to deal with the top of the Cannons order. Davey takes a sign. He sets for the 2-2 to Cam Hall. In there, strike three.
He got that off-speed pitch.
And a beauty at that. Cam Hall goes down looking, 2 down.
Hall did not like that call. I thought it was just off the plate. It was definitely a close.
It was late breaking for
Now
sure.
batting, playing left field, number 12, Royce Gooder.
Now here's Royce Gooder with 2 down. Got the 4th strikeout for Davey in this contest. And we got another comment here. Jason Antoniak has a question for the experts. He says, I'll interject here. There's Royce Gooder shooting a ball to the gap. In right center field. And hustling around third is Randy Kraniak. He's going to come in to score. First run of the game comes courtesy of Royce Gooder, an RBI double, 1-0 Cannons.
He got a pitch he could handle and drove that to right center field. The bottom of the order coming through for the Cannons there. Wood kind of mishandled the ball when he went to throw it in. I thought it was going to be somewhat of a close play at home if he had fielded it cleanly, but as soon as he bobbled it, it was over in terms of getting the out at home. Hall was sending him anyways, so Kraniak was hustling the entire way, but like I said, once he bobbled it off the wet grass and couldn't pick it up cleanly, it was a run scored.
Well, and that's what we talked about in Royce Gooder's first at bat. He's got the capabilities to do that, and he was doing it consistently at the start of the year. And now there's Chris Hodges with a shot into left. And getting the sign to go home. There's a play at the plate. Is cut by Davey. And the run scores. And now hung up here is Chris Hodges between the base paths. And he is out.
They'll take that, though. That first pitch, aggressive swinging on that curveball. Lined it in the left. And now the Cannons lead 2-0 going into the 5th inning.
Absolutely, that run will come across to score. So an RBI double from Royce Gooder, followed by an RBI single from Chris Hodges. 2-0 Cannons, top 5, coming up next.
Off. Number 5, Dave Noss.
So here we go, fans. Top 5. Thorns trail the Cannons 2-0. RBI singles from RBI double from Royce Gooder and an RBI single from Chris Hodges has us where we are right now. And this is Dave Noss leading things off for the Thorns against Josh Kadarian in the top of the 5th.
Big inning here for the Thorns. The heart of their order coming up. They just gave up 2 runs. They're going to want to at least get one back here to feel like they're in the game.
They need an answer. But we mentioned a lot of times in game 1, this is a team that won't go away very easily. I'm thinking the Cannons aren't satisfied with that 2-run lead just yet.
And vice versa, the Cannons just coming off their 2-run inning. They're going to want to put up a quick shutdown inning, put up a 0 on the board, and get right back on the sticks and take it back to the Thorns pitching.
Absolutely, and a big swing and a miss there from Dave Noss. So we'll touch on Jason Antoniak's question now. So he's got a question for the experts. Will Tony Brown be announced as downtown Tony Brown for his at-bats in 2023? And Chris, I think you'd have some insight on that.
Well, the nickname of downtown Tony Brown is up for a little bit of debate last Saturday at the park there. Tony Brown maybe celebrated a little bit too hard, a little bit too early, and while the rest of the team made it downtown, there was no Tony Brown downtown last Saturday. We'll just say that.
So Tony Brown was around, but he wasn't downtown.
That's right.
So around Tony Brown. is where we'll be in 2023. So we got 2-2 now to Dave Noss. Josh Kadarian just missing on a pitch outside there. And that one bounces in the dirt, so it fills up the count. Chris, we thank you for our questions to the expert. You got 2 experts up in the booth tonight. If you're an NDBA fan, feel free to hit us up with your questions. We got loads of answers. I'd say between Chris and I, nobody watches more NDBA games. And that's just true. Full count pitch, and it's upstairs to Dave Noss, ball 4. So the Thorns have the first runner aboard here in the top of the 5th. And they really needed that one.
The next batter for Welland, number 42, Matt Holman.
So Holman at the dish here, Noss at first base, nobody out.
This is the spot. Holman 2 for 2 tonight. So
I'm thinking a little bit of hit and run action. What do you think, Corey?
yeah, that's a good call. I think the Thorns need to get something going here. So you're absolutely going to try anything you can get. And you do have speed on the bases in Dave Noss. This is Holman punching it into shallow right field, a base hit. As if you'd expect anything less, Holman 3 for 3 tonight.
Fernandez just calls out here with first and second, nobody out. What to watch for? And you know what I'm calling for? Down 2 runs, first and second, nobody out.
the bunt to move him over.
However you can move him over right now, you want to move him over.
Absolutely. And
Get 2 guys in scoring position for Decker on deck.
So here comes Ted Beadle, 0 for 1 tonight with a walk. Of course, the Thorns running just 9 guys tonight. That's all they have. So this starting 9 is really all you get. Jason Antoniak, a big fan of downtown Tony Brown, spicy. Loving that little tidbit.
A big addition for the Anchors this year was Tony Brown. Great team guy. Puts in the work. Does all the little things right.
Flare into right. And on it and catching it there is Jeff Bruno. 1 down.
Easy to say this after the fact, Corey, but I still like the bunt there.
Yeah. And you know what? Now that he's flown out to right field, you almost think that that's a missed opportunity for sure.
I mean, you got 2 sticks behind them, Decker and Rose, so you got 2 opportunities for a game-tying single. And now you have 1 out, and there's still only 1 guy in scoring position.
This is on the ground. Past Randy Kraniak at third, a base hit. Rounding third, and in to score is Dave Noss. So there's your run back. The Thorns cut into it. They're down 2-1. RBI single from Zach Decker.
Big base hit by the veteran. Yeah, big base hit by the veteran there. Not ready to call it a year yet.
The next batter, number 8, Tyler Rose.
Here comes Tyler Rose, 0 for 2 tonight. Still just 1 down in the inning. Yeah, Rose chops the first pitch foul. Well out of play. Jason Antoniak back in the chat with a question for the expert. Says, Corey, if you were to start an NDBA team, who would be your first pick? You can't select Kadarian, Fernandez, or Fusco. So who am I going to build a team around? There's Tyler Rose fouling 1 back. And you know what? I think I'm going to go with a solid catcher who I think is a great team guy and who I think is just someone who you could build a team around. And I'm going to say Steve Maurice. I know that's off the cusp, and I know that wouldn't be anybody necessarily first pick. So Rose grounded into a fielder's choice there. But I would say Steve Maurice. I think if I'm going to build a team, I think I want someone like Steve on my bench. What do you think, Chris?
It's not a bad selection. I think definitely something up the middle, right? So you're looking at catcher, pitcher, shortstop, or center fielder.
Right.
Whenever you're starting a team, those are your key positions. You want to fill your middle first. So that's that definitely solves that issue for your new NDBA team. So first and third here with 2 outs, and we got Davey at the plate here, and we've been saying it all game. They've been attacking him outside. Let's see if Kadarian keeps with that strategy. Fernandez again now setting up outside.
Absolutely. Davey 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. So Kadarian's had his number so far, and he takes a big cut for strike 2 there. Kadarian looking to limit the damage to just 1 run here in the top of the 5th. And the 0-2. Just missing down low. Ball 1. This is a pivotal moment in the game. The tying run in Matt Holman on third base. And pitcher-to-pitcher matchup here. Davey fouls that one back.
Corey, I did don't think I did notice that as a still current player in the league. I noticed that you did not pick me, so I won't forget that.
Snubbed.
It'll motivate me for next year into spring training. So thank you for that.
Hey, absolutely. I'll do anything I can to help. I wonder if Jay also noticed that I didn't pick him. Maybe he was fishing for that answer.
Some confusion there on that stolen base. We almost had Rose running back to first, which would have been a colossal error.
Yeah,
but,
that would have been detrimental, honestly.
Still 2-2, and the at-bat is just becoming whether or not Kadarian can hit that outside corner or not.
Single for the Thorns gives them the lead now, and he loads it up.
Don't want to lose this guy.
No, absolutely not. The runners will likely be on the move here with 2 down. The payoff pitch to Davey. Outside, ball 4, gets past Fernandez, charging in Holman, and he is out by 3 or 4 steps. Good hustle by Fernandez.
Huge mistake there by Holman. Huge mistake.
He did not have the momentum he needed to make the charge home. So Fernandez cuts down Holman at the plate. Thorns get one back, but can't tie it up. Bottom 5 coming up.
There's a few.
Hey, welcome back, fans. Bottom of the 5th inning. We'd just like to take a quick moment to thank the Welland Jackfish for sponsoring our broadcast. The 2022 NDBA Senior Championship live stream is presented by the Welland Jackfish. Get hooked on Niagara Summer's team by visiting wellandjackfish.com and learn about their 2023 season tickets. Welland Jackfish, fans first, fun always. So thanks again, Welland Jackfish. They made this stream possible throughout all the playoffs.
recently went to my first Jackfish game, and the job that they've done to revitalize the love of baseball in Niagara has to be talked about and commended. So
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? I've been to a couple games myself. They really know how to put, like, not only a good product on the field, but to create a good atmosphere where it's not just about the game. It's about, you know, the fans interacting with each other and with the interns that they have there as well. They really do a good job. They put on a show.
absolutely. Now, we talked about the how big it was for the Cannons to score 2 and then try to put up a 0. The Thorns, after scoring 1 to get back in the game now, it is critically important that they put up a 0 here to continue to build that momentum as they try to come back. You know, we're only 6 outs away now from the end of the game for them. So
Absolutely. And not only the end of the game, but the end of the whole season. There's a lot riding on this one if you're the Rose City Thorns. They want to push this to game 3. Absolutely. That one missing outside, says Levitt. So 3-1 now to Edwards. Edwards 0 for 1 tonight with a walk. His walk in the first pushed him all the way to third base. And missing outside again is Davey. So a leadoff walk.
I would expect some sort of movement here on the bases with Edwards and Fernandez.
Number 34.
Absolutely.
Maybe a hit and run or maybe a straight steal. But I would not expect Edwards to be hanging out at first base too long here.
No, for sure. No, and we mentioned like earlier in this game, you got to take advantage of all the opportunities you're going to get. The Cannons can't be satisfied with this 2-1 lead here, as the Thorns are a team that won't go away.
It's a massive lead at first base.
And Edwards the wheels to do it. Let's see what he does. Not going and taking away is Zach Fernandez. Fernandez also 0 for 1 tonight with a walk.
We can go back to the top of this inning after when Gray walked to load the bases, but ball 4 was a pass ball. You know, Holman getting thrown out at the dish is a big moment in the game because the Thorns were definitely building some momentum there, and I don't know if you could actually, I know you can see it on the live stream here, but once that play was out, all the Cannons were up on the top step. All the Cannons were out of the dugout cheering on Fernandez and Kadarian when they got that out. So it definitely pushed the momentum back into the Cannons dugout.
Going Edwards. Nas down to second with a good throw. And is in time. The initial call was safe from the base umpire, but he quickly changed his mind. And Edwards is cut down. 1 away.
But a play like that is a play that can switch it right back. Momentum is a funny thing, especially in baseball.
Yeah.
You know, in hockey, you got the big hit. In football, you got a big third down tackle or a sack. But in baseball, it can change so fast, whether it's a caught stealing or, you know, in the last inning we saw a caught stealing at home plate. So it's definitely something that you want to hold on to.
Absolutely. You could just see, like, as soon as that play happens, the immediately prepped up are the players on the field. Fernandez pops this one up. Gray makes the play in foul territory, 2 down. And that's it again. So you mentioned the momentum swing. Edwards walks to lead off the inning, is cut down, and then quickly Fernandez fouls out. So there's 2 away in the inning. And now this looks like it's going to be a quick one. Gary Morris comes to the dish. 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out in the first and grounded into a fielder's choice in the third.
The count is 2-0 to Gary as we're just switching up the battery pack. So the live stream will be back in just a few seconds here. So we'll go radio for a little bit here. Curveball outside, 3-0 now to Moraes. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th.
Boy, no matter how many times we do this live stream, we just can't quite figure out the timing of these batteries. They have a mind of their own. Oh, we're back with some picture here. Still Gary Morris batting, as Chris mentioned. And he takes ball 4 away.
That brought me back, though, to my childhood of listening to Tom Cheek and Jerry Howarth on the radio all those years. I never had cable growing up until I was a teenager, so not a lot of Jays games on the television, on the tube. So I remember many days, myself and my dad and my parents just listening to Jays games on the radio. That's to me, that's how baseball games were when you were a kid. You listened to them on the radio. And I know now we have all these streaming devices and everything like that. So the radio has obviously, become less popular, but baseball on the radio, there's nothing like it.
Absolutely. Although that really makes you think, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Trophy did not grow up in 1920.
Yeah, I'm not that old.
But yeah, we're not too far removed from, games on the radio being in the forefront. I even remember, pulling up on the 6:30 or whatever and on the AM and catching the Jays games on the way home as well. So it's kind of akin to this, what we're doing here, the kind of makeshift stream, the do-it-yourself stream. There's Bruno fouling one back.
Good off-speed pitch there by Davey to get Bruno off his plane.
So Bruno regains composure and stands in. And Davey takes the sign for the 1-2. That's Gary Moraes over there at first base with 2 down. Up and in, ball 2. That's been primarily where Davey's been missing tonight, is off of that outside edge for him.
Definitely glove side is where he's been pulling at glove side all of his fastballs that he's missed. So whether he's just coming across it too hard or trying to throw it too hard.
Or again, even if the mound is a little too squishy and he's not feeling it right, there's a lot of variables here. But the point is, Davey missing to that right side from where we're sitting here up in the booth. So Bruno's worked the count full. You'd expect Moraes will be on the move here with 2 down. And Bruno laces that ball into left field. Foul.
Justin Hall, third base coach, was begging that ball to stay fair, but it did not miss by much, did not miss that line by much, but it was foul. So we'll do it again.
He's trying everything to push that one inside the chalk line. Bruno does that inside-out swing so very well. So we'll redo the 3-2. Runners on the move. Outside, ball 4. Third walk of the inning issued by Alex Davey. And now Nas is going to go out and try to settle down his starting pitcher.
I'll be interested to see if the Thorns get any action in their bullpen when they come back in. I know they obviously can't do it right now, but Davey's pitch count's getting up there. He's obviously working very hard. He's starting to maybe lose his zone a little bit, lose his command. So I'll be interested to see if they are able to get some action down there. And when I say able to, sometimes it can be tricky when you're managing 9, 10, 11 guys and you're putting somebody in from the field because sometimes they're up to bat that inning and you can't warm them up. So
yeah, absolutely.
You really have to be prepared in advance for those situations.
You got Stack, Wood, and Gray to lead things off for the Thorns in the 6th, and that's 2 of their 3 pitchers really they have available.
Yeah, see, I was thinking Wood would be an option for them, especially with late innings. But I mean, if he's up second, it's not really an option.
Number 61. 2-run shot.
We've just been told in the booth here, ladies and gentlemen, that Aaron Judge has hit number 61. For all those Yankee fans out there that are watching the final tonight, there's a little bit of a spoiler alert for you, but Aaron Judge has hit 61.
You knew that was going to happen eventually. Nobody's been pitching to the guy for a week, so it was only a matter of time before he sized one up. Josh LaRock asks, is that Mr. Cholf running the booth? That's a good ear, Josh. It is Mr. Cholf running the booth. He's come in for an impromptu stop for the NDBA Senior Finals. And we thank him again for coming out tonight. So Davey with 3 walks in the inning already, down 3-0 to Pat Giampaolo. Talked about the options available for the Thorns at pitcher if Davey starts to fall off, and he has here in the 5th. That one's on the ground. Rose over to Beetle to make the play at second, and that'll end the frame. So Davey running into a little bit of trouble, but he gets out of it. Still 2-1 Cannons as we head to the top of the 6th. We'll be right back. Here we go, fans. Top of the 6th inning. Leading things off for the Thorns here is Tyler Stack. 1 for 2 tonight. RBI double has the Thorns on the board. And he's back up here in the 6th to face Josh Kadarian, who's just cruising through his 5 innings of work so far. Would you expect anything less from this guy, Chris?
I mean, if you have a game that you're playing for a championship, Kadarian is probably their number 1 choice in the league to start, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely. When I was running through starters in my mind, there wasn't a doubt that he was going to make at least an appearance to some capacity tonight.
That's true.
That one jamming Stack, and it rolls slowly to Cam Hall at second, and time, 1 down.
First out of any inning is important, but once you get to late innings in a close ball game, that first out just makes everyone relax out there. The defense relaxes a little bit, and that's why I'm a little bit old school in this. That I like to see a strike when I'm the leadoff guy in the late innings, and it was 2-0 there, and he had a little jam shot to second base. So who knows what would have happened if we got later in the count there, but. I'm a fan of seeing some pitches, making the pitcher throw some strikes in the late innings when it gets down to it.
Gotta agree with you there.
Especially a guy who's throwing a lot of pitches tonight. Again, we're getting down to the late innings. Nerves could potentially become a factor. The weather is potentially a factor. There's a lot of things, and he's thrown 2 balls. He hasn't had a ton of walk trouble tonight, but he has had a little bit.
There's a shot into center field, and on to make the play there is Spencer Edwards, 2 down. But yeah, what are your point? I mean, you get that first out, and it's in a situation where you probably didn't have to force the issue so much if you're Tyler Stack, but it is what it is at this point. We're down to 2 down here in the top of the 6th. Riley Gray, the batter. And first pitch inside, ball 1. Terry Sampson in the stream, praising us a little bit. Good game and good stream so far. I gotta agree with you on the good game front. This is a nail biter. 2-1 Cannons. They are ahead on an RBI double from Royce Gooder, followed by an RBI single from Chris Hodges. And that was in the bottom of the 4th inning. Big swing and a miss there from Gray. Strike 2. So big spot. Kadarian looking for his first clean inning of the night. 1-2. Popped up and back out of play here to our left. We'll redo the 1-2 to Riley Gray. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
3 outs to get.
6th strikeout of the night for Josh Kadarian. Cuts down the top of the 6th. We'll be right back with the bottom half coming up. All right, fans, back for the bottom of the 6th inning, and we'll lead things off with Randy Kraniak, the third baseman tonight. 0 for 2 is Kraniak.
Bottom of the 6th.
Still have Alex Davey on the mound here for the Thorns, so we'll see if he can persevere through another half inning here. They did not warm anybody up, so.
And he struggled to close out the bottom of the 5th inning. He had 3 walks issued in the inning, and he was down 2-0 to Pat Giampaolo before he grounded out to short.
Good sign there with a curveball to start the inning, the Kraniak.
And he leads things off with a strike.
Just missed.
That one looked like it was in there. Again, we can see things so much better from up here in the booth, though. It's uncomparable.
White trophy.
Kraniak slices that one foul. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. You won't want to miss the next one. It could be the final inning of NDBA baseball this summer. Or not even summer anymore. Cut out. Sorry about that, folks. We cut out for just a moment there. You missed Randy Kraniak grounding out to the shortstop, Tyler Rose. So there's 1 down in the inning.
Seems to be locating his off-speed stuff much better right now than he is his fastball, so we'll see how he wants to attack Cam Hall.
He may rely on that off-speed stuff, especially, again, with his fastball falling off to the right side.
And of course, on cue, there's a fastball right down the plate. So He's still working on it, but he feels confident enough that he's going to keep throwing both pitches.
So yeah, Cam Hall stands in. He's down 0-1 in the count. 5:26 regular season for Hall. He struck out in the 4th inning looking on what he thought was a questionable pitch, but looked good from up in the booth. Takes that one away.
Just missed.
I think Davey already showing some frustration in this inning. Not getting those borderline calls that were available to him early in the game. So Hall can't hold up there. Strike 2. We're in the bottom of the 6th. 1 out. Cam Hall, the batter. The 1-2. And that one missing outside again.
Good call. I think it was just outside.
This one coming right down to the wire tonight. That one missing away. So the count is full now against Cam Hall. So Davey takes the sign. The payoff pitch. Strike 3.
Gutsy pitch to locate that fastball up in the zone. Good pitch there.
But he gets Hall chasing. 1 down.
At a key moment to come up with a just below the letter high fastball to get him to chase. We are going to see a pitching change here, Corey.
Oh, wow.
The next batter for the Cannons, number 12, Royce Gooder.
Unexpected, as Davey able to get the first 2 batters here in the 6th, but it looks like we will see Tyler Rose enter the ballgame.
We're going to go lefty on lefty.
Not a terrible call. I don't mind this from the Thorns. We'll be right back after Tyler Rose throws some warm-up pitches. Join us after the break. So we're all warmed up now and back for the bottom of the 6th. There are 2 down for the Cannons. New pitcher for the Thorns is Tyler Wood. And Chris Patterson will pinch it here for Royce Gooder in the bottom of the 6th. Again, 2 down. Defensive changes for the Thorns. Matt Holman moves from 3rd to 1st. Riley Gray takes over in center field as Chris Patterson drills one down the third baseline, and he's got extra bases. Charging in, standing up with a double is Chris Patterson. And he comes in a big spot for the Cannons in the bottom of the 6th.
They bring Wood in to face Glitter, the lefty. Justin Hall responds by pinch hitting Patterson, and Patterson answers the call by hitting a first pitch lace down the left field line. That was some fun baseball to watch there.
That was a great move from head coach Justin Hall on that note.
Absolutely.
But now you'll get the lefty here in Chris Hodges. Hodges 1 for 3 tonight. Singled in the 4th. So yeah, we're halfway getting through those defensive changes for the Thorns. So you got Holman moving from first to third, or from third to first, sorry. Riley Gray takes over for Tyler Wood in center field. He moves from first, and then Alex Davey takes over at third base for Matt Holman. So wing and a miss there from Hodges, 1-1.
Thorns in a little bit of trouble here, but they brought in a lefty to face Gooder after Davey got the first 2 outs of the inning, and Wood's not even going to face a lefty. He's going to face the righty Patterson, the righty Hodges, and on deck is the righty Edwards, followed by Fernandez. So there's no
point, yeah.
There's no lefty in sight
no lefty,
here.
Yeah. On the ground, Tyler Rose scoops and fires in time to cut down Hodges. So Patterson with a 2-out double doesn't cost the Thorns. It's 2-1. Cannons, top 7. This could be the final inning of NDBA baseball. Stick with us through the break.
Cue up the Timmy trumpets.
All right, fans, here we go. This is what it all comes down to. Top of the 7th inning.
Heart of the order coming up for the Thorns, so we'll see if they can get it at least a run here to extend the game.
This is the exact same portion of the lineup that produced a run in the 5th inning, and that's all they need here in the 7th to extend this game. And it'll kick things off with Dave Noss. 0 for 1 tonight with a pair of walks. And he deals strike 1 there. This is still Josh Kadarian on the mound for the Cannons. There was never a doubt he was going to go all 7 tonight. Ty Hardy in the comments. Here we go. This is it, Ty. Big swing and a miss there from Noss, strike 2.
Slowed down that curveball a little bit. Even got him out in front of that curveball.
I just want to take a second here to thank everyone that's joined us for the streams this year, all throughout. I think that includes you, Ty. You've been a valuable member to the streams since the beginning, so we thank you for joining us. We're doing plenty more of this next year, you guys. Stay with us. On the ground, Randy Kraniak, hard toss across the diamond in time. 1 down. And that's just a textbook play from the veteran Randy Kraniak there.
Took his time, made the throw right on the money. 2 outs to go.
Absolutely. You forget that in this moment here, there's probably a lot of nerves for the 9 players on the field right now in gold and green.
Absolutely. I mean, these guys have been there before. There's a lot of guys on this team from the 2018, 2017 NDBA champions. They've won OBA championships before. So if there's any team that can close out a one-run game, it's these guys that are out in the field right now.
Matt Holman, 3 for 3 tonight, laces the ball into right field. That'll get down for a hit. Holman doesn't have the legs to stretch that into a double. But he is aboard with 1 down in the top of the 7th inning. What a night for Matt Holman. 4 for 4.
It's very unfortunate, though, this situation, because it's begging for a pinch runner. And with the Thorns only having 9 guys, they don't have anyone that can run. We'll see if it comes back to haunt them and hurt them in this situation. But, you know, the game-tying run on first base with 1 out, begging for a pinch runner.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a detriment to them right now. So here's Ted Beadle. Stands in, cuts on the first pitch, strike 1. It's of note as well that Frankie Biggins is in the ball game. He's in left field. Broken bat. On the ground, Kraniak with time. In time to get Ted Beadle. That one was close. So not only does Ted Beadle have to deal with a broken bat, his heart is in too as well. That was a tough call.
Gonna have to run that back on the stream. From up here, I think he got the call right.
It was definitely very close. But it had the Thorns bench up in arms.
Charlie is gone.
Chuck Ullman stayed in his case, and he's tossed from this ball game.
55, Zach Decker.
So it won't continue until Chuck Holman leaves the field, folks. But if you're going to fall on any sword, it's the second out in what could be your last inning.
Veteran versus veteran here.
So here we go, tying run at second base. Thorns down to their last out. This is Zach Decker, has the lone RBI for the Thorns. It came in the 5th inning. And he's in another big spot here.
I'd like to see Holman get a very good secondary lead here, knowing that he's gonna want to score on a single. He's got to put himself in position.
That one foul back from Decker.
It's not a good enough secondary, in my opinion. In this situation, he's got to be thinking, even with his speed on a single, I got to score. So you have to take a very aggressive secondary.
And we saw Holman charge for the plate already once in this game, and he didn't quite have the legs to make it there. So you think maybe an extra step if you're Matt Holman.
You got to be prepared to be aggressive.
That one missing down low, 1-1. Colton Armstrong in the chat. Let's go Cannons. This could be it. 2 down in the top of the 7th. Cannons with a 2-1 lead. On the ground. Charging his haul. This could be it. And he makes the play. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2022 NDBA champions, the Fort Erie Cannons. What a run for this team.
Great game, great season by the Cannons. Very deserved winners of the championship this year.
Well, they come into this tournament, the number 3 seed. They had to fight their way through the quarterfinal with the Niagara Falls Expos. They had to battle their way through the semifinals against the Meriton Alliance. And then they sweep the best of 3 with the Rose City Thorns. What a contest. Well, once again, we thank you fans for joining us from beautiful Welland Stadium tonight. This is the conclusion of the 2022 NDBA playoff tournament. Thank you so much for joining us. My name's Corey LeBlanc, joined in the booth by Chris Cholfi. Signing off one last time for the 2022 season. We'll see you guys next year.